Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays. I can't even say my channel name. And welcome back to the Royal Generation of the Medieval Legacy Challenge. And I've been doing some thinking, and I've come to a conclusion about who Lily should marry based on politics, not based on her interests, which is sad for Lily. But these two, so we have Lord Martin Goth here, and we have the head of the church, and they've come to talk to Edward and basically say to him that they're concerned because they've heard that the crown princess is being courted by a foreigner. Now, obviously this is a little controversial. We're telling her, giving hugs, give him a residence key. Can you not do that? That's really quite jarring. They're being very delicate in how they phrase it, and the reason why the nobles more broadly have selected these two to come to talk to Edward is because the priest is a cousin, and Martin Goth is a childhood friend. He's also very influential. So the reason they've said to those two, come and talk to Edward, is because they're basically saying they don't think that the crown princess should marry someone from Brindleton because Edward's wife is from Brindleton. And obviously that could be offensive to the king because he loves his wife. The reason is because Lily's children would be 3/4 Brindleton blood. And the nobles more broadly are uncomfortable with that. They would like to see her marry someone of good Windenburg stock. Now, I know Jace was actually made by one of you guys, and I feel really bad about this, but I was thinking about it in terms of politics, because this is the generation we're in now, and I was like, I actually think that is the least palatable option for the politics point of view out of the three options we have left. But what they're saying, what they're hastening to say, is that it would be fine if one of the other princesses were to marry Jace, and we don't need to offend the Kingdom of Brindleton by rejecting him outright if you think that he's a suitable match. But basically, he can't marry the crown princess because of the implications of the next generation's king or queen being 3/4 Brindleton and not only 1/4 Windenburg in terms of lineage. And I feel bad. So I'm sorry so much for stringing you guys along, but I've had some time to think about it, like over the Christmas break while I wasn't recording as much stuff, and I was like, oh, that's actually not gonna work. So I think Edward, ultimately I think he would be, oh gosh, Martin looks mad. I think he would be swayed by that. Wait, why are we in a romantic relationship with Martin? What happened? Oh gosh, you look away for 30 seconds. He wants to leave. This door's actually locked, so I'm gonna unlock it because it's the only way you can get Sims to stay in one place. So they're all leaving, which is fine. They've made their point. So I think he's gonna actually track down his daughter, who's currently in the butler's bedroom having a chat to Sarah. That doesn't seem particularly realistic, so why don't we have her come down here? I might have Sarah join her. I don't have a problem with the two of them sitting together and talking. I just don't think that they would be in the butler's bedroom doing it. So I'm going to have him come downstairs too. He's basically tracking down his daughters, or at least the two oldest ones that remain in the house, to have a conversation with them. There was a bad news option in there. It's fake bad news, but it will have to do. And then we'll flatter her. So he's basically coming in to say, Jace is not a suitable match for you. I've come to that conclusion. So where are we going? So we're going to have this conversation in the kitchen. No worries. So we're giving her the bad news, and she's like, I mean, remember, she's in her rebellious phase. I'm pretty sure that trait is still on her. She doesn't want to marry anybody. Yeah, she is. She doesn't want to marry anybody anyway. I might have her argue a little bit. Argue about house rules. Because it's not that she's wanting to marry anybody in particular. It's that she doesn't like being told what to do. So she's like, well, I don't know that the word racist existed back then. It ultimately is a little bit racist. Although it's racist in the sense that back in medieval times, an English person would be racist against a French person. They're all white. But it's bigoted against the country, I guess. And I'm thinking about it from that point of view of, like, having too many Germans marrying into the English royal family, that kind of thing. That's actually what I'm contemplating in terms of. So, you know, they're having an argument. I think I'm going to have her leave. He's giving her what for? It's like, you have to think about the good of the kingdom. It's like, well, what about what I want? What I'm contemplating, because he's got to do a little bit of damage control with the Brindleton royals as well. Ava's still a child, obviously. So she's also not available as a match. But there is 2 other options in the house. There's Sarah and Grace. And Grace just happened to walk through. So let's get her attention. Grace! 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 She's like, I want to eat. Look, I get it, honey. You've been at school all day. You can eat at the same time. We're apparently having all of the serious conversations at the dining table or at the kitchen bench. So I'm going to have him talk to her. Basically, this is going to be very much an arranged marriage. I think he would think Sarah might be too weird a fit. She's not the most eligible of daughters in that, you know, she's into like crows and the occult and the spiritual, and sending her off to Brindleton, or even having them stay here because that family is in this kingdom. They have moved here. That would actually be potentially more damaging. He's basically saying to Grace, so, oh, we're supportive. Okay. He's like, I want you to get to know this young man better because Lily's over here fuming. I am intending, if his family are amenable, to betroth him to you. It's so, again, not presented as a question. Now, hopefully, how she feels about that is going to genuinely depend on how well she gets on with Jace. And I don't know if she's really talked to him. Let's have a look. They have good compatibility, so that's a good sign. But yeah, basically, he's like, get to know this young man. Obviously, if they end up hating each other, we'll have to reassess. I'm going to have her get ready for bed. Gosh, you are very tired, young lady. What did you do last night? Lily is fuming and wants to have a chat to her mum. I mean, that's fair. I would kind of like her to complain about her dad, but I don't know if she can. Can you actually discuss her phase with her? Not really. Parenting. Oh, level 7. Can't you do that? Can't you discuss phases? I thought you could. Anyway, you're supposed to be talking to your daughter. She's like, no, but I really want to work out. Let's have Fiona try and calm her daughter down. I mean, she's currently, she still has the angry moodlet. She's just feeling more positive. Let's tell her a story. Maybe Fiona is talking about how she was in a similar situation in that she and her sister were told that one of them would have to marry Edward. And luckily she fell in love with him and everything was fine. But, you know, you are the crown princess. You have to get married. You don't have a choice. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. But get over it. Share your insecurities, Fiona. And Sarah's just standing here like, oh, this is awkward. Fiona's unflirty. I don't think so. She's always given me the opposite. She has a lot of fears because of her jealousy. She has a lot of fears, but that doesn't make her unflirty. So, yeah, she's trying to give her daughter a pep talk. And she's like, you know, why don't you invite one of the other 2 young men over and get to know them a little? But I think if Grace weren't so tired, I would have actually preferred to focus on Grace and Jace. Oh my god, their names rhyme. Grace and Jace. That's kind of cute. There's Pierce and Dirk. In terms of how she gets on with them both, she has a sentiment with Dirk. She likes him better, but that might just be because he was being more cooperative in the last part, to be honest. And she has no opinions on Pierce one way or the other. Both of them are Windenburg born and bred. Asked to create a hangout. That's what I'm trying to think of. Alrighty. We are asking to make a hangout with Dirk. Are you okay, Desiree? Itching next to the Queen? I mean, that's a choice. And Fiona's now thinking about tissues. Wait, what? He declined to hang out? What do I have to do to make these Sims hang out with me? Is this actually a bug? I'm starting to feel like it's a bug. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly take care of the rest of my Sims, and then I guess I'm just gonna have to invite him over. If it works, I will have them woohoo. And I need you to take medicine. Make a special recipe. Ooh, high energy protein plate. Let's do it. Why not? Oh, she's going to bed. I think we'll do it in the morning, you guys. All right, it's the next morning. I think I'm going to focus on Grace and Jace. I love that their names rhyme. That is so cute. I think I'm going to focus on that today rather than trying to dual hat focus on Lily. So I'm just having her get a snack just to take care of most of her needs. And then I think I'm going to invite Jace over. I'm going to do that via Edward because I think Edward is going to have a conversation with Jace. I mean, they get on famously, but Edward gets on famously with everybody. Oh, it's summer solstice tomorrow. And then it's actually going to be Lily's birthday in the next part. I was just looking at that. So I wasn't planning on marrying her until she's a young adult anyway. So that way, like the other teen girls I'm not so fussed about, but with her, I kind of want to do the big wedding and stuff. All right, so Edward has invited Jace over and I've queued for them to play chess. I thought he would have one of the staff send him up just so they can have a chat, hopefully not too intimidating. Lily's decided to walk through, making it a little awkward. If you're hungry, why don't you eat? Honey, if you're hungry, there's food right here. Why don't you eat? Crazy, I know. Jace has finally walked in. Oh, he looks a little upset. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to have him have a talk to Jace about the realities of the situation. Now, Jace's current mood actually suits quite nicely to what I think this conversation would be like. Why is he stressed? No, it keeps trying to change Ava's and Grace's personalities. Probably because I haven't been doing a lot with the grieving and nothing is working. So this is great. Talk to this sim. Just talk to him. Okay, this is actually starting to remind me why I don't like playing this game very much anymore. All right, where are you? This is why you potentially have to lock them in rooms again. You are going to talk. Come on. So I was going to do this in a less intimidating way, but we're having this conversation in the throne room, which is a very intimidating way to do it. Edward is breaking the news to Jace. Reminisce about our wedding day. That seems to be rubbing it in, but that's fine. Can I talk to him about his mood? Is that a possibility? Deep thoughts. We'll have a deep conversation and we won't apparently have a deep conversation. We're just going to stand here. We'll bestow some empathy. We're literally doing nothing. This is awesome. There we go. Can I talk up Grace? And then I'm going to unlock this. And hopefully, if it works the way it usually does, in theory, he will then go and try and talk to Grace and we could go from there. So he's basically saying, yeah, we've just reset again. Cool. Talk up Grace. He just won't have a deep conversation or anything with him. They're just resetting. So that's awesome. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is because I've locked the door and they're trying to queue other things. Okay, she seems like good company. I'll chat with her soon. All right, and we'll have that hopefully deep conversation at some point. And we will attempt again to bestow empathy. So he's basically talking about world politics, world events, and my hands are tied and I understand this might be disappointing for you. Because the thing is that Jace, while he didn't, he and Lily aren't romantically in a relationship or anything, he doesn't have romantic feelings towards her. He was attempting to bestow a future queen, which would give him a lot more power. Wouldn't make him a king. It would make him a prince consort, but yeah, so that's the gist of that conversation. So now I'm going to disband the group. I'm actually going to try have him go and give a heartfelt compliment. Oh no, Grace came to us. She is a goofball. Let's impersonate mermaids. She's a bit of a weirdo, to be honest. Let's skip prom together. She does need to do something fun, so maybe I could have them play chess together. Play together. She needs to do something fun anyway, and that way they can kind of get to know one another. I agree, let's ditch prom together. Ooh, she's an A student. She's got pipe organ skill. I love you, Sarah. but that's wild. So I kind of just want these guys to talk. Can we gossip? And maybe do something funny. Tell him a funny story. And tell him an outrageous story. And an unbelievable story. We're all about telling stories. Discuss healthy relationships. We're getting on okay so far. I can't remember what traits he had. She has got none of his traits. They are friends, apparently. Let's get to know him. And let's ask him about his day, I guess. I'm like, why is she talking about love? And then I remembered she was talking about healthy relationships. That's probably what it was. Jace has the dancing skill. Oh, they got a sentiment to one another. Oh my gosh! Fiona! What did you do? She finished her aspiration. Practice mindfulness, seek relaxation, find peaceful surroundings, maintain. I didn't even queue for her to do anything. And she's sick as anything. That's the secret to harmony, you guys. So I assume that she was doing some meditation or something. Okay, Jace is pretty wealthy, apparently. I didn't realize Get to Know was giving you all these additional traits and stuff now. So I had always said with Fiona that when she completed this aspiration that I was actually going to change her traits. I was going to change her from jealous to something else. The idea was she was working on becoming a better sim. I mean, she's got 5 traits. I could actually just cheat this off and then it'll give her room to autofill with another one rather than going into Cass and stuff. So there you go. She's not... Oh, actually, was I going to take high maintenance off or jealous? I think I was going to take off high maintenance. Anyway, it's fine. I guess she got a double buff. It doesn't really matter. She still has 3 traits. So, you know, she's had her moment of enlightenment. In the meantime, I've abandoned Grace and Jace. We're going back up to the dramatic music. These guys are getting on pretty well. Maybe I'll just have them, like, flirt. Just a little flirt. Aww. I mean, he seems amenable. And let's be real, she is an absolute stunner of a sim. She's an absolute goofball of a sim. But she's a stunner. Oh, what was that? Are you claiming to be a criminal mastermind? I mean, that's one way to keep him interested. Physical intimacy. They could hold hands. That would be okay. That would be approved. Complimenting his appearance while Lily walks through. Very awkward. I don't think they're going to complete that action until they finish playing chess. I mean, they're getting on, so that's a good sign. Yeah, they're just staring at each other. I mean, that's kind of cute, I guess. Oh, he's leaving. Okay, well, that's fine. Why don't you watch her play? So, I think that's the direction I'm going to go in. I think Grace and Jace. I love that they rhyme. I know I've said that a few times. Lily, I think I want to have... What is happening here? What is this playing? I'm going to put it on Baroque. I feel like what you're listening to is not approved. There's far too much hip wiggling for that to be approved music. So Lily, I think I'm probably going to look at Dirk. Maybe Pierce, but probably Dirk. We'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to do that in this part. She has got her birthday in the next part as well. Or maybe, I mean, we'll see. Because there's also Summer Solstice in there. What is Summer Solstice again? Brand meal, party spirit, invite guests. We could have a party. That'll probably take it out of me, to be honest. But yes, that means that we can look at her inviting Dirk over. And maybe he could come to the party and we'll see how they get on from there. Once she's a young adult, the phase that she's in obviously won't be a factor anymore. So her being rebellious, maybe she'll be a bit more inclined to agree to her father's requirement that she get married, and we'll see how it goes. I am going to leave this part here. I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Apologies again for the whole Jace thing. I needed to think it through, and I should have thought it through before we even started on this road, because I don't think is effectively eligible in this context for Lily. But that's all right. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.